All right, so you really want to crush it with your website's SEO in 2025. We're going deep on the complete SEO checklist for 2025, unearthing the absolute essentials.
This checklist is seriously comprehensive. We're talking everything from the technical side of things to what users actually see on your pages, and even some really smart keyword research strategies.
I'm all about working smarter, not harder,
Right.
right? One thing that stood out to me was the focus on those classic tools. Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools, Google Analytics. Are those really still the foundation we should be building on?
Absolutely. Think of it like this. These tools give you a direct line to how search engines actually see your site. Google's Search Console, for example. It helps you identify and fix any errors that might be holding you back. It's like peeking behind the curtain.
So you're not accidentally invisible to Google. What about Bing? Is it worth our time?
Don't underestimate Bing. It might not be Google, but every bit of visibility counts. And then there's Google Analytics. That's your traffic guru. It tells you where your visitors are coming from, what they're clicking on, how long they're staying on your site.
You can get inside the mind of your website visitors. I love that. I'm curious, what's the checklist take on plugins? Anything we should have on our radar?
It gives a shout out to Yoast SEO, especially if you're on WordPress or Shopify. If you're not a coding whiz, Yoast can guide you through optimizing your site step by step.
A little help is always appreciated, right? I'm all about the technical stuff, but the checklist also mentions defining SEO goals. Isn't it just about ranking higher?
It's more than that. It's about strategy. What are you actually trying to achieve with your website? More traffic?
Yeah.
Brand awareness? Maybe those backlinks everybody's after? Your goals will determine how you approach SEO.
Makes sense. So we've got our tools, we've defined our goals. What else is crucial in these early stages of building out our SEO strategy?
The checklist gives a nod to SEMrush, and here's a little nugget for you. Even the free version can be really powerful, especially for competitor analysis.
Okay, I'm listening. How do we use that to our advantage?
Imagine knowing exactly which keywords your competitors are ranking for but aren't targeting. That's the kind of intel SEMrush can give you. Find those hidden opportunities, and you're already ahead of the game.
I love a little bit of SEO espionage.
Right here.
Okay, let's talk keywords. Those are the lifeblood of SEO, right?
Absolutely. But it's not about stuffing them in wherever you can. This checklist is all about understanding your audience, getting into their heads.
Speaking their language.
Exactly. What are their pain points? What are they actually typing into that search bar?
Okay, so how do we uncover those golden keywords?
One of the simplest ways is using Google Suggest. You know those helpful suggestions that pop up as you type?
Yeah, like Google's reading my mind sometimes.
Exactly. Those are keyword gold. Another tool the checklist highlights is the Backlinko keyword tool. It's free, and it's amazing for uncovering what we call long-tail keywords.
Long-tail keywords, what are those?
Think of them as longer, more specific phrases people search for, like best organic coffee beans for cold brew versus just coffee.
Ah, so less competition, more targeted traffic? I like it.
Exactly. The checklist also suggests tapping into the power of online communities like Reddit or Quora. Even forums, they're gold mines for understanding the questions your audience is asking.
Going straight to the source.
Right. And once you have a good list of potential keywords, you're going to need a way to sift through them. That's where SEMrush's keyword magic tool comes in handy. Even with the free version, you can analyze keywords, see their search volume, and most importantly, see how difficult it would be to rank for them.
So we're looking for those low competition keywords, the ones we can actually rank for without needing an SEO army.
Exactly. Another thing the checklist reminds us about is something called question keywords. These are keywords phrased as questions, things like how to bake sourdough bread.
So we need to create content that actually answers those questions.
Right. It's about providing value, not just chasing keywords. Answer the Public is a great tool for uncovering these question keywords. It's all about understanding what piques your audience's interest.
This is great. What else do we need to know about keyword research?
One more thing, the checklist introduces topical authority analysis. It's all about understanding what Google already sees you as an expert in and strategically expanding your content to build authority in specific areas. They actually provide a free spreadsheet within the source material to help you with this.
So strategically filling those content gaps and showing Google, hey, I'm the go-to source for this.
You got it. Ready to dive into on-page SEO. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of optimizing what people actually see on your website.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. On-page optimization. Where do we even begin?
Well, the checklist really stresses clean, concise URLs. And make sure they include your target keywords.
So people know what they're clicking on.
Exactly. For both users and Search engines, it's clear what backlinko.com's Soliella checklist is about, right?
Straight to the point. So what's next after those clear URLs?
Title tags, your headline in the search results.
Yeah.
That's your chance to stand out. The checklist recommends front-loading your keyword, for one, and then using what they call title tag modifiers.
Okay, front-loading title tag modifiers. Break that down for me.
Sure. Front-loading just means putting your keyword towards the beginning of your title tag. Help search engines understand what your page is about right away. And title tag modifiers, think like best, checklist, guide, those words that just make people want to click.
Grab attention.
Exactly.
So what comes after we nail those title tags?
H1, H2, H3 tags, those are important.
Those are just for formatting, right?
Well, yeah, they help structure your content, but they're also about hierarchy. Using your keywords in those headings helps search engines understand, the context of each section.
Like we're giving Google an outline?
Yeah.
Okay, what about images? They're important for SEO too, right?
Yeah.
Not just looking pretty.
Oh, absolutely. Image file names and alt text are key. The checklist really emphasizes that. Alt text is great for accessibility, of course, but it also helps search engines understand the image since they can't actually see it.
Makes sense. It's like giving Google a description.
Right.
Okay, so we've got our images all set. What other on-page elements should we be thinking about?
The checklist reminds us about synonyms and LSI keywords.
Okay, back up a sec. Remind me what those are again?
Synonyms are just different words that mean the same thing, right? So instead of repeating the same keyword over and over, you can use synonyms to make your content sound more natural. And LSI keywords are terms related to your main keyword. They add context.
So Google gets the full picture.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of natural flow, internal and external links are huge.
Links, the bridges connecting all the things on the internet. It seems like they're always important for SEO.
They really are. High-quality external links pointing to authoritative sites in your niche can really boost your credibility, both with users and Google.
Showing you're part of the community.
Exactly. And internal links are great for guiding users to other relevant content on your site, improving user experience, all that good stuff.
I love how everything's connected. Okay, we've talked about those foundational technical elements, optimized our pages. What's next in our SEO journey?
Now we got to talk about content itself, the heart of any website.
The content. All right, so what makes for truly great content in the age of SEO? This checklist has got to have some wisdom for us.
It goes deep. And the first thing it dives into is readability, because nobody wants to read a wall of text.
Especially with everyone on their phones these days.
Right. So the checklist talks about chunking your content, shorter paragraphs, bullet points, headings. It all helps.
Giving your content space to breathe.
Exactly. And beyond readability, the checklist talks about something called information game. Basically, your content needs to offer something new something people can't find just anywhere. Unique insights, maybe original research, that kind of thing.
So not just repeating what's already out there.
Yeah, you got to provide value. And finally, don't forget about multimedia.
Got to have visuals.
Right. Images, videos, charts, they make your content way more engaging. And that keeps people on your page longer.
Which Google likes.
So it's about creating an experience, not just content.
I'm all about that. But as much as we love the creative stuff, there's always the technical side. Ready to dig into the technical SEO stuff?
Let's do it. This checklist has some good recommendations for those behind-the-scenes things that can really make or break your SEO.
The unsung heroes. All right, so what's first on our list?
Making sure Google can actually access and understand our content. We're talking about crawling and indexing errors.
Uh-oh, those sound scary. What are we dealing with here?
Don't worry, they're not as bad as they sound. A crawling error just means Google's having trouble viewing a page. An indexing error means Google sees it, but it's not adding it to their index.
So it's like the page doesn't even exist.
Basically.
How do we make sure we're in Google's good graces?
Google Search Console is our friend. It can point out those errors so we can fix them. The checklist also suggests using the Inspect URL feature. You just plug in your URL and it shows you exactly how Google sees that page.
That's super handy. What else should we be checking from a technical standpoint?
Mobile friendliness is crucial, making sure your website is responsive, easy to navigate on a phone. No one wants to be pinching and zooming all over the place.
Especially with everyone on their phones.
Right, and those annoying pop-ups that take over your whole screen, get rid of them.
The worst. Okay, so we're mobile friendly. Anything else?
Broken links. Gotta watch out for those.
Those are so frustrating.
Right, and they can hurt your SEO. The checklist recommends using drlinkcheck.com. It's a free tool that scans your site and flags any broken links.
Amazing. Bookmarked. What else is on our technical to-do list?
Make sure your site is secure, like HTTPS secure. That little padlock in the address bar, non-negotiable.
So it's about building trust.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't forget about loading speed.
Nobody's got time for a slow website.
Exactly. And luckily, Google has a tool for that too, Page Speed Insights. It analyzes your site and gives you suggestions for improving your speed.
Free and helpful. Love it. Anything else on the technical side?
One last thing, schema markup.
Okay, I've heard of it, but to be honest, I'm a little fuzzy on the details. What is it in a nutshell?
It's basically adding structured data to your website that helps search engines understand your content on a deeper level.
So it's like helping Google out a bit.
Exactly. It's like giving them a cheat sheet. And it can get you those really nice, rich snippets in the search results.
The ones with the star ratings and extra information.
Yeah. Those are the ones that can really boost your click-through rates.
Schema markup. Got it.
And with that, we've covered the essentials of technical SEO.
Wow, we have covered a lot. Keywords, on-page optimization, technical SEO. I feel like we're just scratching the surface of this checklist. What else is in store for us?
We got to talk about link building. It's one of the most powerful parts of SEO, but also one of the most misunderstood.
Link building. It feels like this big mysterious thing. What does the checklist have to say about it? So let's break it down. What's the checklist take on building those high-quality links?
One really interesting strategy is using HeyRoO. That's help a reporter out and help a B2B writer. These platforms connect journalists with sources so you can offer your expertise and potentially snag a backlink from a reputable website.
So positioning yourself as the go-to expert in your niche. I like it. What other link building strategies are we talking about?
The checklist emphasizes linkable assets, basically creating content that's so valuable, other websites naturally want to link to it.
Content that markets itself.
Yeah.
Give me some examples. What kind of content are we talking about?
Think in-depth guides, original research, maybe even tools or calculators that provide some unique value.
Okay, so we're putting in the work to create something truly remarkable. Are there any strategies for uncovering link-building opportunities we might be missing? Like, how do we know who to reach out to?
Remember how we were talking about SEMrush for competitor analysis?
Yeah, for spying on our competitors' keywords.
Exactly. Well, you can use it for link building, too. You can actually see who's linking to your competitors' websites and see if there are any opportunities there for you.
So it's like we're following the breadcrumbs. Love it. Anything else? Any other creative link building tactics in this checklist?
It suggests becoming a podcast guest. You get to reach a whole new audience, share your expertise, and you might even get a nice backlink from the podcast's website.
Meta. Using podcasts to boost SEO. I'm into it.
Right. And lastly, don't forget about those relationships you've built with influencers.
I always think of influencer marketing as more of a social media thing. How does it tie into link building?
It's definitely huge on social media, but it can definitely boost your SEO too. You know, if you mention an influencer in a blog post, especially if you link to their work, let them know. A little shout out can go a long way.
It's all about building those relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive on SEO, is there anything else? Any final words of wisdom from the SEO gods?
There are actually a few bonus tips in the checklist for taking your SEO to the next level. Want to hear them?
Hit me. I'm all about leveling up.
One thing they mention is optimizing for what are called user experience signals. That's stuff like your click-through rate from the search results, how long people are staying on your pages, if they're bouncing right away, that kind of thing.
So it's not just about getting people to your site. It's about making sure they like what they see and stick around.
That's the idea. And while there's some debate about how much these signals actually impact rankings, a good user experience is never a bad thing.
For sure. Make your website a place where people actually want to be. Okay, what other advanced SEO secrets did you uncover?
Sometimes less is more. Like if you've got old blog posts, pages that aren't really relevant anymore,
Yeah.
those can actually be hurting you.
So like digital clutter.
Exactly. Getting rid of those low-quality pages can actually give your SEO a boost. And speaking of older content, the checklist also talks about updating those older blog posts.
Instead of just letting them sit there.
Yep. Give them a refresh. Update the information. Add new insights. Maybe give the formatting a little facelift.
So breathing new life into old content.
Exactly. The checklist actually mentions a case study where just updating an old blog post increased traffic by over 1,000%.
Okay, wow. 1,000% increase, I'm convinced. I'm adding update old content to my to-do list right now.
Right. It goes to show sometimes the best SEO strategies aren't about reinventing the wheel, just improving what you already have.
I love that. Well, this checklist has been amazing. We've covered so much ground, the basics, some really smart strategies, even those next-level tactics.
It's been fun. And remember, SEO is a marathon, not a sprint. Take it one step at a time and never stop learning.
So well said. And there you have it, everyone, our deep dive on the complete SEO checklist for 2025. Now go forth and optimize. We'll see you in the next one.